With fall in the air and winter approaching, it's time we look at some comfort food classics that can keep you warm and well. A little chopping and a little waiting, but this red beans and rice is one of the easiest, tastiest meals you can put on the dinner table. We'll begin by chopping up 1 pound of Andouille sausage. That would be the authentic sausage for red beans and rice, but you can use any type that you like. You can slice this into coins, little half moons like I'm doing here, or even dice it up. This is a dish you can totally cater to your preferences. Once you've got it all sliced up, add a little bit of olive oil to help it get going in the bottom of a large Dutch oven or pot over medium to medium-high heat, and cook that off for 4 to 5 minutes or until it's golden brown and rendered out its fat. While that cooks, we're going to go ahead and slice up 3 ribs of celery. We want to put a pretty fine dice on these. We'll also do the same to 1 green bell pepper. Again, a nice fine dice. And the same thing to 1 medium yellow or white onion. Once that sausage has rendered its fat and gotten a nice golden brown color and deposited a little fond on the bottom of our Dutch oven, go ahead and remove that and set it aside. Maybe tuck it into the fridge because we've got about 2 hours of cooking time ahead of us. Go ahead and add in that onion into that olive oil and sausage fat. Also add in your green bell pepper and celery. This is, of course, the holy trinity of Cajun cooking. We're also going to add in 3 to 4 cloves of garlic. Cannot be bothered to mince that much garlic by hand, so I'm just putting it through my garlic press. It's going to totally cook down anyway. Go ahead and stir that around until the garlic is nice and fragrant. We're still working over medium heat here. And now we're going to go in with a whole bunch of spices and herbs. Put the exact amounts down below, but you've got some smoked paprika, some chipotle powder for additional smokiness, some cayenne pepper to taste, a little bit of ground thyme. You could also use fresh thyme sprigs here, some dried oregano leaves, some garlic powder to reinforce the garlic flavor, onion powder to reinforce the onion flavor, a nice heavy cracking of black pepper, and a heavy pinch of salt to season everything. Go ahead and stir all that around in the fat to bloom those spices and release all their wonderful aromatic notes. Then we're going to add in 16 ounces of dry beans. No need to soak them for this preparation. It would speed the cooking up just slightly, but I think it's kind of unnecessary. To the beans, we will also add 6 cups of the liquid of your choice, chicken stock, chicken broth, veggie stock. Even water will work just fine here. There's going to be a ton of flavor in our finished product. Give everything a stir and cook that on a low simmer for about 1.5 hours to 1 hour and 40 minutes. Because it is closed up, you are going to not lose too much liquid. You want to check the beans there, make sure they can be just smashed against the side of the pan. Oh, there's a bay leaf there. I forgot. We added 3 bay leaves as well. Sorry, it was a long list and just something got left off. Anyways, we're going to go in with a potato masher here. You could also just use the side of your spatula and smash up some of these beans so they release their starches into the cooking liquid. How much you do this is up to you. It depends on if you want a more brothy, soupy final texture or something a little thicker. I also like a little splash of hot sauce here. I like things spicy, so if you don't, you could skip that step or just add a splash of vinegar, but I do think some acidity here at the end really wakes up all of those slowly simmered flavors. Go ahead and give everything a stir once you finish your smashing, and now we're going to cook this lid off for about 25 to 30 minutes to let some of that liquid evaporate and let those flavors intensify and also let those beans really thicken up that cooking liquid. Give everything one final stir, check for final seasoning, and then add back your sausage. Give that a stir, and here's where you can really kind of adjust that texture. To me, this was looking just a little thick, so I added a splash of water. Certainly don't have to do that. If you like it thick, go for it. If you like it thin, add as much water as you want. If you're really just tasting for seasoning here at this point, getting everything finely tuned. There is 1 cup of beautifully steamed extra long grain white basmati rice, but you can use the rice of your choice for this, of course. Even leftover rice would be just fine. We're going to put that down in the bottom of a nice wide bowl. Ladle in some of our luscious, thick, creamy red bean and sausage mixture. As much or as little as you like, of course. I'm probably being a little bit too fancy with this. It is, of course, a rustic dish, but when you got to take pictures of stuff, you want it to look nice. 1 final little drizzle of hot sauce because I got to have that kick. And you know I gotta have an absurd amount of green onions on top. So, there's your red beans and rice with andouille sausage. This is an extraordinarily cheap dish to bring together, honestly. You could even skip the meat and use veggie broth and make this a vegetarian or vegan meal. But man, is that rich. It's yeah, a little spicy, a little bit. So satisfying, so comforting. It does make a large pot, but keeps for a few days in the fridge, and I honestly don't think you'll have any problem getting through the leftovers. I know we didn't. Love you, red beans and rice. Seriously, go make this. Thanks for watching, and go make something delicious.